Picture yourself driving south towards the border. You are almost out of gas and have long since run out of water. You're literally panting from your parched throat. As you drive along, you see a mileage sign, and the name of the town coming up in 6 miles catches your attention. Why? Why would anyone name a town why? Your curiosity is piqued now, and even if you had enough gas and water, you would still stop anyways. Your heart sinks as you get to the outskirts and see that this place is a total one-horse town. Driving slowly, your hopes of finding a place to refuel not just your car, but also your H2O supply diminish rapidly. As you round the bend, a little store comes into view and your hopes rise a little. The lights are on, and the store appears to be open. You pull up out front in front of the gas pumps and get out, stretching your legs. As you go through the door to the little store, why not? The small bell above it jingles merrily. You feel as if you've traveled back in time, to a time when life was just a bit simpler. You walk out to the symphony of jingling bells with a few snacks and bottles of water. As you put the stuff in your car and prepare to fuel up, you see someone already standing there, pumping your gas. You wonder if this person is an employee of the store, but something just seems off about them. As they finish, you debate if you should offer them a tip, and decide to do so. They give you an odd glance as they look at the $2 bills you've given them, but just nod and then walk away. You look at your watch, and despite the sun being high in the sky, you see it's 10 p.m. You only have 2 hours to make it to the border before it closes at midnight. You continue down the highway, and in your road hypnosis, you fail to notice what the mileage sign you've just passed reads. Why? 6 miles. Your surroundings have also begun to seem familiar, and if you weren't so tired, you would immediately notice something wrong with this situation. Your hypnosis falters when you enter the outskirts of the town, and you pull over when you see "Why Not" on your right. You have a moment's fear when you pull out your GPS and see the road mapped out before you. The town of Why is displayed on the screen, but the highway just before and just after completely disappear if you try and scroll around to see if you made a wrong turn somewhere. You surmise that the GPS must just be malfunctioning and turn it off, then continue down the road, this time being more mindful of your surroundings. As you get out of town, you try and fight the regrowing hypnosis. Just as you're reaching the limit that you can stand, you notice the mileage sign appear, reading, "Why? 6 miles." Your mind is now in full function mode, and you know that the situation at hand could just be the tip of the iceberg. The absurd idea comes to mind that you are stuck in some sort of cosmic time loop, but you dismiss the idea right then and there. You decide to stop somewhere in Why, possibly Why Not, and ask if this sort of occurrence is common around here. Maybe it's some secret government test site for some sort of secret government experiment. You pull up in front of Why Not and get out, stretching legs once again. As you enter Why Not again, the jingling bells now sound off-key, an almost sinister sound of rusted chains in a graveyard echoing just above your head. There's no one behind the counter now, but you see a door near the back that is slightly open, with a faint light coming from within. You quietly make your way over to it to investigate, doing your best not to make your presence known. As you approach, you look and see a sign above the door, "Washroom closed for cleaning." With some of the curiosity assuaged, but not all, you peek inside and your mouth gapes open. You can see a sponge moving about the sink, washing the grime away effortlessly. Something is really off here. The sponge isn't being used by anyone. There is a sponge that is cleaning a sink all by itself. You back away slowly, trying to process what you've just bore witness to, but no processing happens. You jump as you bump into something as you back away, and the rustling thump from behind you as a bag of chips falls off the rack makes you cry out in surprise. When you calm down just a little bit and turn to see the chips on the floor, you see the person who filled your gas tank a little earlier standing there with guarded unease in his eyes. You open your mouth to say something, but a sharp look from the pumper shuts you right up. They motion with a jerk of the head to follow them outside, and with uncertainty, you decide that is the best option to follow. You follow the pumper behind the little store, and as you do, the thought that they might harm you is at the forefront of your mind, and you unconsciously curl your right hand into a fist in case things get out of hand. The pumper stops and says to you that if you want to get out now, he knows the way, but it won't be easy. He tells you that if you want to make it to the border and escape, You need to drive straight south, even if it means driving through the desert. If you follow the road out of why, you will just remain trapped in this time loop. At this point, you and the pumper go back to your car and he eyes the tires, and then nods that it will be possible to make it in the desert. As you get to the point where you need to leave the road, you take a deep breath and floor it with your eyes closed. In the moment that you hit the sand, you open your eyes and swerve rapidly to the left, narrowly avoiding a looming saguaro that appears to be reaching out, ready to grab you. Your breathing calms down after another few close calls, and now the highway has reappeared. You look at the compass, and it still says you are heading due south. The highway is completely devoid of cars headed in either direction, and you check your watch again. Though the sun is still high overhead, you see that it is now 11:30 p.m. A mileage sign to your right comes into view and it reads, Lukeville, 18 miles. You heave a sigh of relief as you know you can make it there in about 12 minutes and still have 18 minutes to cross the border before it closes and you end up stranded for the night. You speed up, trying to maximize your road time, and before you know it, the road sign to your right reads, Lukeville, 6 miles. There are a few familiar landmarks coming up, and your excitement grows. Once you reach the border, it's only another hour until home. As the first few signs of civilization come into sight, you gradually slow down, not wanting to be pulled over by any local police or border patrol assholes. Your brakes squeak mildly as you come to the border, and your excitement ebbs as there appears to be no one in sight for miles. The entire town looks as if it's abandoned, and you wonder what's going on. The gate appears to be open to the border though, and a quick glance at your watch assures you that you have ample time to cross. Things seem eerie as you go over all the speed bumps and observe your surroundings. The windows in the booths have been smashed, and a ripped jacket is hanging from one of the holes. You shudder and smile at the same time as you cross into Sonoita and see a few signs of life. Well, they are vague, but there's at least something moving, possibly a stray dog. Once you eventually make it through town, you're back out on the open road, still slightly confused as to why the sun is still high in the sky, despite it being after midnight. You're getting sleepy, and pass a mileage sign without noticing that it once again reads, Why, 6 miles. You keep driving, hypnotized once again, but become fully alert as you find yourself coming into the town of why, Arizona once again, despite being over the border in Mexico. As you park outside of Why Not, you see the lights on in the window and a figure leaning awkwardly at the end of the front entryway. You slowly get out of the car and go investigate, and your face goes white when you see what the figure is. It is the pumper that got you out of Why, and you see a piece of paper pinned to the front of his shirt. It says the same thing you are now silently screaming to the sky. Why? 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 Why?